Okay, so I'm going to be doing a review on two Gendercat dual texture 6-inch hard and semi-hard prosthetics. And you'll notice they're the exact same color. And I chose the custom color, and when I ordered it again, I just did the exact same one. Okay, so already you can see how the semi-hard is just gonna go down more so than this one at a resting position. It just naturally wants to go down more. I don't have to put a lot of pressure to bring it down. So this is like for people who maybe want to pack with it occasionally, something like that. And it does the length go over the balls nicely. And then this one is the regular hard, right? So I have to put more pressure. Like, let me see. This I barely have to touch. This one, I kind of have to pull it down, and it does not want to kind of stay. So let's bring this up. Right, like, that's one way to figure that out, right? So it's popping, and now let's put it next to this one, see how that one behaves. Right, so you can see already it's a lot easier to move, which I think makes it good for sex. Right? And this is the dual texture. So basically it's just hard inside, and then there's just like this other layer of skin on it, right? And then in the back, you have your Fascination Sleeve, which is supposed to suction to you. But yeah, I just kind of want to show how flexible it is. Something that like Gendercats like to go down. So the good thing about this one is that it is possible to bring it up. Although like all Gendercats, it does have those lines that kind of happen. But it is just like a lot easier to bring it up, right? To like, since this one, it's really difficult to get it to stay up. It wants to really just be at its natural point going down. And when I do this, you know, it's just not as flexible. I'm worried that I'm gonna break it. It doesn't have as much give. So I feel like, and then there you go, right? So it's a lot more rich. I think I don't feel comfortable packing with this for more than a couple hours personally. Some people do pack with it longer. For me, I just like to feel comfortable and packing something that I don't have to worry about. This definitely would need a harness for me to feel comfortable packing with this for any amount of time. You know, it's 6 inches, it's semi-hard. Like, you know, if you're cis and you're packing and you're semi-hard, it's not gonna be the most comfortable thing. So that's just something to keep in mind. And then they also make a 4-inch model that's just like right there. And I do think this one kind of like bends down a bit better. And you do get those 2 extra inches when you're having sex. So I think the 6-inch model is like the way to go personally. I mean, that's why I went with it. When I was ordering this, they told me that the dual texture makes it so that it's a little bit harder than a regular semi-hard from them. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, if you want something, I do feel like this softer, like silicone on the outside though, does make it feel more semi-hard than like, or more realistic than like if it was just one density. So I do really like this upgrade. I think it's worth the money, you know, but you can just kind of see like it does like increase the realism of Gendercat a lot. So, and also you can choose specific colors for the balls, the head, the shaft, and the tab. When I was picking mine, I was doing like a soft and hard combo, and I decided that I wanted my harder packer to be a little bit darker than my regular one, just because when a penis gets hard, a lot of blood flows to it, so it could get darker, so that's something I wanted. I wanted to be a little bit different than the soft one. I also asked for something that was like a higher contrast so you can kind of see the differences more. And I did choose something lighter for the balls than for the head. I wanted the head to kind of pop the most, personally. The balls on the original are, this is the free, just like what it comes with. It's very soft. You can see like very nice. I like that a lot. It's a little bit like, you see how this goes? It goes back a little bit faster than the grandma sausages do. Another difference between this and the grandma sausage kind of dual density is that this inner core is like the whole thing, the whole kind of shaft, and then this part is just like another layer. Whereas with grandma sausage, the inner core is a smaller part, and then there's more in between this kind of skin layer and the other layer. So this is probably like, yeah, this is a little bit harder, the head, than this one. Something else I think is important to note with these is that when you get the Fascination Sleeve, it does go pretty far, so a couple inches. They do give you a little insert to like fill it back up if you want, and that could help make it like harder also. That's just something to think about, because I was kind of surprised how far it went, and then I was like, I don't know. I think it does help it become more flexible though, and obviously the suction is something you want when you're having sex. I like the Fascination Sleeve. Unfortunately, I grew out of this size, so it's hard for me to stay inside of it. When it did work for me, it was very nice. I wish you can like send it back to them and then they can like make it bigger for you. That would be really cool if they offered something like that, just so that, you know, you're making this investment and you don't have to buy a whole nother one once you kind of like grow out of it. If you're buying this kind of new, I would definitely recommend sizing up. I think, you know, this is the 3/4 of an inch, and I think this did kind of work for me for quite a while. And so if you're like pre-T or something, I think this is definitely a good option that will be with you for a long time. At this point, I think I'm gonna need, you know, it's something a little smaller than 1 inch, but they do just have the 1 inch. So I think I would go for the 1 inch if I were to buy this again. Overall, with playing, this is not for really like rough, hard sex. This is gonna be for something that's more intimate, a little slower, you feel comfortable with the person. It does work, and it is a really good pack and play in terms of playing. And packing is not so bad with it either. There is a learning curve with it. You have to be patient. It tends to slide out a bit. But once you get the hang of it, I feel like it does feel like really a part of you, because it just is like able to move better. This is worth kind of like taking a step back and trying to be a little more intentional and slower. I really like this. I think, you know, I definitely recommend it. I think Gendercat really has a good quality assurance. I'm like surprised how good they are still. Like, there's nothing really wrong, like no cuts or anything or tears, or they really are solid. Especially their hard products, I just really love them. I think they're a great price, a good amount of realism, and they're durable, which I think is really important for like a play prosthetic. It would be really cool if Gendercat offered you the drilling all the way down, so it could also be like a Stantipy. And that would make it a lot more movable as well. I've been trying to get them to make a Stantipy for a long time, and they just don't want to do it. I hope this was helpful. Oh yeah, and I just wanted to also mention I like always use a harness, just in underwear. Like if my harnesses are in the laundry or something, like I am able to just kind of like use it in like boxer briefs. Really tell from the POV point of view, like perspective, like. So yeah, that's my thoughts. I love Gendercat. I think it's a great company. I think they make really quality stuff. The regular Gender Mender in soft, semi-hard, hard, without the dual texture. They went up in price since I bought it, so it's gonna be $189. Then with the dual texture, I believe it's like another $89. With the Fascination Sleeve, it's another $30. So all in all, we're looking at a little over $300 plus shipping. I think is $8. They're shipping from New York, so I'm talking about in the U.S. shipping is like $8. But yeah, I just love these balls. Like